another main motivation about starting Otherix, which is people just make an idol out of Jesus Christ himself. They don't listen to what he says. They just kind of, worship him.
And you make the change.
Jesus Christ has something going on in his heart. And it's not focusing on himself. He's thinking about, he's worshiping, he's in the presence of his Father. ponder anew what the Almighty can do if by His love He befriend thee. You shall love Yahweh with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might, and with all your strength. Let's stop there just for a minute. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto them, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Now our doctrinal statement, the second, encompasses just the first and great commandment. Why? Because there's a categorical difference between God and you, between God and the whole human race. God is an individual. Putting that individual first sets everything straight and right. Loving Him with everything is the only way to even be slightly concerned about somebody else and not have it throw you totally off track. That's what Otherix is all about. Putting God first. I mean, making contact. Other Christians don't think much of you hearing God and God speaking to you. The living God uses this book. The living God wrote this book. This book talks about God talking to you and being in His presence. At that time Jesus answered and said, I thank Thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because You have hid these things from wise and prudent, and have revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in Your sight. That's why Otherix exists. Can you imagine that? Even so, God, Father, for so it seemed good in Your sight. This is what I'm training you for. To get in contact with God and to know it's God. Not your imagination. Not like the atheist Barker said, some complex delusion, or whatever wonderful thing he said about his brain. Yeah. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. We want to attach ourselves to another human being, and usually in most contexts that's fine. But it gets to another main motivation about starting Otherix, which is people just make an idol out of Jesus Christ Himself. They don't listen to what He says. They just kind of, worship Him. Jesus Christ has something going on in His heart. And it's not focusing on Himself. He's thinking about, He's worshiping, He's in the presence of his Father. And there's a relationship there. And that's frankly the first answer to the first question. Why? Why do you exist? You exist because of the relationship, the love relationship between the Father and the Son, and they want to expand it. So they made a whole world and a whole system and a whole situation where individuals, other persons, could decide to be with them or not. That's why you exist. Truly, truly, I say to you, you seek me not because you saw the miracles, but because you did eat of the loaves and were filled. For the bread of God is he which comes down from heaven and gives life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that comes to me shall never hunger, and he that believes on me shall never thirst. We've been speaking about what I will now call our narrative, the place where we fit in, and therefore the mindset which we should take on. The best answer that we can arrive at for our guttural question, why, our endemic, our inbred, our undismissible question, why, the answer that we hold to that question dictates the narrative which we throw ourselves into, which we find ourselves, and therefore the ideas which come to us. So we've already spoken our answer. So much for that guy. You fit in right in between Father and Son. You fit in as part of their love relationship, their operational relationship, their work, their business relationship. And what's your job? To follow Jesus. There's a shocker. To follow the Lord Jesus Christ as his disciple. To throw your entire life and being at his feet. To lose your life for him. There's other churches out there that have a different construction on the matter. Believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And, some other fairy dust that they pick out from one of those scriptures or two. And, hey, you're a Christian. Wow. Baloney. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. That's Jesus revealing another part of the Father. And I forgot my spoon. Great big gobs of... Excuse me. Great big gobs of gopher guts.
And I forgot my spoon.
The door is wide open to Jesus. But you get into his house, you enter even the first room. It's his house. It's his rules. He's not out there saying, come on in and do whatever you want. I've provided this free area structure, so you can have whatever party you and your pals want. Well, I'm not going to get into that today. Very much. Except to say, it's just liberal Christianity taken to the next 3 steps. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit. Whatever you want, Jesus. Well, I want you to stop doing this and this and this, and let's do this instead. Oh, I don't know. I can't do that. I was born this way. So, there goes Jesus. Let's look it up in the book that I've been writing. Package number 15, X2. I tune to the one first thing. He is my sole attention and love, and of this every good thing comes. His name within me is the salve of my salvation. I call it, and he is here. He. Nothing comes from nothing, so one thing's always been. The only self-existent. Yes, and better things cannot come from lesser things. So the one self-existent is the best thing ever too. A person exceptional. We'll get to the logic of that soon enough. X3. Together, we too start a church of one. To call the first adopters out, the change agents, that's the way it's going to happen. He's going to put a video out. That's going to start a church. It's going to start a whole new religion. A new religion? This is package number 7. A new religion? There is no new religion. There is no new religion. But the world needs a new religion. But only of the kind that Christianity can provide. But since the kind of Christianity that's been around for some time lays claim in people's minds to all that Christianity could ever be, people need their minds busted up and broken and blown by, quote, a new religion, unquote. Get it? course, there are all kinds of Christianity, which people have gotten used to these 2,000 years. I wrote a little pamphlet, Religion. Kind of a hokey way of saying it as a title. Religion. I wrote Religion 2 years ago. 40 very short pages to get people used to my kind of Christianity. It adds tasty meat to the bones of the skeleton you have already gotten used to in packages of number 1 through number 6 of these past weeks. In other words, the stuff that I'd been writing to them already. I will make commentary and answer your questions. Smiley face. Nobody writes back. See, I've been writing a book to Christians that I was in with a church years ago, and a few others that got on the list somehow, some way. So where have we gotten to in our meditation? Finally getting down to brass tacks here. In our mind, we've gotten to the start of everything, of all things, so that we cannot answer what is here by stating that it came from something else. Do you understand that? Has your mind gotten hold of that yet? If we grab hold of something here, we cannot ask, we cannot say that it came from something else. We cannot ask, where did you come from? Where did this come from? Because what we have a hold of is the beginning, the first. So, with that in mind, is it nothing that we find at the start of all things? Can anything come from nothing? And we have come along in our thought experiment concluding that no, there's not even one thing that can come from nothing. So there is at least one thing there at the start. At least one self-existent thing. Are you set in that notion yet? Because this is episode number 5 of Otherix. And we have spoken of and brushed up against and looked into this one idea in most every episode. I don't want you to think that I have a one-track mind necessarily, although we are coming to the conjunction of this idea, meeting up with loving Yahweh, the self-existent one, with all our mind and all our heart and all our soul. So, I do have a one-track mind. Oh goodness, you say. Oh dear. We're going to be talking about this in every episode ever since. It being October 13th, 2019, today. My plan is to cover this book, and my plan is to finish this book. Here's our cover. So there is at least one first thing, maybe more. This is all just logic. Something can't come from nothing. So at the start of everything, there is, even before time, there is at least one first thing. There is at least one thing there. Maybe more. There's definitely at least one first thing. Maybe more. Matter of fact, it helps coming to grips with the concept of one if you entertain that possibility, that there was just one thing. Otherwise, there is no situation where oneness can actually exert its gravity. It would always be looking for something else to help it along. Unless there was some situation, some place, some time, where one was all there was. That's the latest. So, see you next time.